Here are a few ideas you can use on your homepage for your Canvas course. First of all, if you're curious how I created the custom menu with my module links in it, let me show you how I did that. I used the table tool, and if I expand the table tool, I can insert a table and choose how large I want that table to be. For the example in this particular course you're currently looking at, I used a 3x2 table because there's one orientation module and 5 following modules for a total of 6. For a 10-week module, you might consider doing a 5x2 or a 2x5. I'm going to go with the 5x2. Now that creates a pretty basic empty table. Each of these boxes is a separate cell. If I want to make this simple, I can just type the name of the module here. At this point, I can then highlight my week 1 and add a link to my week 1 module over here in the content selection tool. Same for week 2, so on and so forth. If I save that, you get an idea of what that would look like. This is a little blah. We might want to fix this up a little bit more. So I'm going to continue to edit the menu. As long as the table is selected, I can then modify the table properties by clicking on the table tool. Again, the table first has to be selected, and you can do that just by clicking on any cell within the table. So it's selected as long as the boxes are around the sides of it. I can click on the table tool and go to table properties. Here I can choose to have a centered alignment. I'd also use a 1 pixel border and add a caption to it. The caption always appears at the top. And already my navigation menu is becoming a little bit more attractive. I can take this even further if I like by adding images for each weekly item. Do that by putting the cursor in the line above my week 1 link and clicking on the embed image icon, and search Flickr for any image that would apply to that. And then size that image to something that makes sense. To center the contents of this cell, I have to click into the cell and go back to the table properties area, into cell and cell properties, and here I can then do the horizontal or H align to be set to center. Now all the items within that cell will be centered in that cell. I'll repeat this process for week 2, for several others. As I continue to fill this out, you begin to get the idea of what that would look like to have image links in each of your module navigation areas. If I'd like to configure this image to become a link to my week 1, I can do that by highlighting the image, and coming over here and clicking on the week 1 module item. As soon as I do that, this image becomes a link to the same content area that this week 1 text does. They both go to my module week 1 area. If you prefer to use buttons and create buttons that are all equal in size that work really well for a menu in Canvas, I just did a Google search for create a button. I'm sure you could do the same if you wanted to. And the first one here is the Button Factory, a website button maker. I can click on that. I can click in here to add my text. I can modify the colors if I'd like to. Do all sorts of things to dress this up. As soon as I have it where I want it, I can then click download, save that to my computer, come back to my course, and upload that image into my class. And now I have a image here that says syllabus. Then I click on that image to select it with the blue here. I could create a link then to my course syllabus tool. Students would have a clickable button here now to go to the syllabus tool. One other idea I'd show you really quickly would be possibly a small table in order to add your contact information, perhaps a photo of yourself if you prefer to do that. Editing again just a blank page for my home page. I'm going to click on the table tool and I'm going to do a 2x1 table. And here I'll fill out my information. So here I have my basic information. I'm going to blow up my name a little bit though because I think that needs to be a little bit larger. Over here on the left side I can add a photo of myself if I like to. Or a photo of something else if I prefer to not have my image out there floating around. So a few other items here on cleaning this table up. First of all, we want to select the table by clicking your mouse anywhere within the table. And come up to the table properties. I want to align this table to the center. I would like a 1 pixel border, and I want a caption. You can go into advanced, I can also add a border color, a background color, all sorts of other things. But that's good enough for now. One other thing I want to do is I want to align this table over here to the top, because by default it aligns the information in this table, in this particular cell, to the center of the cell. So it looks a little wonky. There's a lot of white space at the top, a lot of white space at the bottom. I prefer to have less at the top and more at the bottom. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to go into the cell properties. And I'm going to do vertical align, or V align, to the top. And then now my name is aligned to the very top, the same as the image. There's more white space down below. One last thing I'm going to show you, how to create a very simple 3-link menu. To do this, what I would suggest is to simply create a table and make it a 1-by-1 table. This is a really simple process. In this 1-by-1 table, I'm going to create the links that I want to have in this format. So I'm going to call the first one syllabus. I'm going to add a dash to separate these items. Have another one to course content. Another dash and course schedule. If you use these items in your course, which you probably do, you definitely do at least the first two, you always want to have links to these items on your home page. So here's my little one cell table. I'm going to highlight that and go into my table properties. I'm going to center that in the middle. I'm going to create a one pixel border. In the table properties under the advanced tab, I'm going to change this to a blue border color, just so it matches up with my other border. Now you notice that really hugs that top one pretty closely. I don't really like that, so I'm going to add space between those two. Now I can also expand these a bit so they're not quite so tiny. This will be a link to my course syllabus, my course content, which is going to be my modules list, my course schedule, which I have set as a wiki page. I'm going to add a space in the front and at the end of this, just to add a little bit more space for these guys to coexist a little bit more nicely. Save that. And here is a very basic, very simple homepage that has just the information students need to get started and contact you if necessary.